Namaste and hi, friends. Thank you for joining me tonight on this spontaneous video that I felt very compelled to make regarding the energies that I am receiving and some key points that I am seeing, not only in my personal life, but very vividly in the collective atmosphere as well. Some energies are really, really up and intense and at play right now. Getting ready for tomorrow's solstice, which in the northern hemisphere is winter solstice, going to be the longest night of the year. And after that, we return back towards the light. The days start getting longer. But as well as this great Saturn and Jupiter conjunction, which is happening tomorrow, which is going to be very, very powerful. And I am sure we are all feeling it. I know I am. And I wanted to share a little bit with you about what it is that I'm receiving and what it is that I'm experiencing and what it is that I'm seeing and how it fits into this great conjunction happening tomorrow. A little bit after sunset, okay? It's getting closer and closer to the sun. So you'll see it in the southwestern direction after sunset. So if sunset's at 12 o'clock, look sort of towards 10:30, okay? All right. So Saturn and Jupiter, right? The two biggest, most important planets of our visible solar system, the outer planets, right? The two most outer planets and the slowest moving outer planets of our solar system are conjoining. They both have very different significations. Saturn is the planet of karma. It's got rings around it, right? It's the planet of limits. It is that which keeps our karma, and all karma means is our actions repeating, right? It's repetitive. It keeps us stuck. It doesn't let us evolve past our habits, right? Our actions, and our actions keep going round and round and round until we suffer enough to learn our lessons, okay? And then start doing and applying the hard work that it takes to correct those lessons and change those karmas. That is what Saturn, the energy, right? That's what it's all about. There's nothing bad about these energies. It's just inherent energy, okay? Saturn has a tamasic energy. So it's a heavy energy. It's a dense energy. It's one that doesn't let us get uplifted very easily. Okay, it's sitting in its own sign of sidereal Capricorn. Capricorn is all about doing the work, achieving the goals, right? The goat, the horn of the goat, the mountain, climbing the mountain. But then it's got the tail of a fish. So it's like running the whole gamut, coming not only from the top of the mountain and moving up, coming from the depths of the sea, right? And then moving up to the mountains, right? So it shows great strides, not easy little bounces, but great movement from the depths of the sea to the top of the mountain. In Indian astrology, it is called Makar, right? Makar is sea goat, but it can also be seen sometimes as a crocodile, because a crocodile lives just as comfortably in the water as well as on the land, right? And the crocodile's tough with its skin and its scales. It can bite you, okay? Which is what Saturn can do. But it's not Saturn doing it. It's our karmas. Saturn is the lord of our karmas. So basically what happens is Saturn presides over us and keeps us within the limits, within the confines, right, of our patterns. And we go around and around and around. And we create it again and again and again. Until we suffer from it enough to where we decide that we're going to change it. And it takes great Herculean effort to make those changes. But Saturn in Capricorn shows us that we can. But first we have to realize that what we're stuck in. Unless we realize what we are stuck in, we can't get out of it, right? Because we don't know that we are in prison. We don't know that we are experiencing the result of nothing more than the actions we ourselves have put into play. Yes? Okay. So, Capricorn, Saturn, Makar. Then we have Jupiter. Jupiter is the great benefic. Saturn is the great malefic. Why? Because Saturn makes you suffer. It doesn't make you suffer. You make yourself suffer. But Saturn keeps you in that until it's time. Until you mature enough to be like, whoa. Like, what's going on here? Okay? Until you open your eyes. Jupiter, the great benefic, right? Its element is the akash, is the ethers, very light. It's the great benefic because it bestows grace upon you. What is this grace? This is the guru's grace. Huh? They say the guru is the one who gives you the bridge to God or to enlightenment or to whatever you want to call it. Saturn keeps you confined, stuck in your karmic, egoic actions. Jupiter expands you and puts you in touch easily and effortlessly with the sattva, the divine, the higher perspective. One where we can see easily, not one where we can't see that we're in water and we're the ones creating this merry-go-round for ourselves. That's Saturn. We're stuck. We can't see. We're just going round, round, round. But Jupiter helps you to all of a sudden expand and see, oh, wow, look at this merry-go-round I'm on. Jupiter is the guru's grace that brings you the realization that you are stuck in this karmic loop. All right? Now, Jupiter, being the great benefic, is debilitated in the sign of Capricorn because it's its opposite sign. Now, they're both neutral to each other. They're not enemies, Saturn and Jupiter. They just kind of like know their roles and they leave each other alone. But when Jupiter is in Capricorn, it's usually debilitated because it gets weighed down by the heaviness, the tamasicness, the limit of Capricorn, Saturn. Saturn's limiting. Jupiter wants to expand. Saturn's like, But this time it's with the Lord, right? So it's not so bad. The Lord actually respects Jupiter and says, okay, you're in my house. You're in my abode with me. It lightens Saturn's dulling and heavy effect. And it gives us the chance within the heaviness to realize that we are in the tamas. It gives us the chance to gain that perspective. And that's what's happening right now. It's giving us the opportunity, right? It's showing us a little sliver of a doorway in which we can gain perspective from the heaviness, the tamasicness, the limits of Saturn. Usually, a fish, for it to know that it's in water, it doesn't know it's in water. It's in water its whole life. What's water? It's just normal. It's so close to the fish. Fish doesn't know until it's ripped out of the water. And then it's like, oh my God, now I see. That was water. That's what I needed to stay alive. We don't want to have to be ripped out of the water in order to see what we're in, right? We want to be able to become aware of what it is that we're in by the graces, by the grace of the Guru, by the grace of the planet Jupiter. Now, a lot of people can get stuck right now. A lot of people are stuck right now because Jupiter, in its not so enlightened form, is dogmas and fanatical beliefs. Jupiter in the sign of Capricorn does not allow, right, for an open mind. Very few of us, very few people that have Jupiter in certain places in their charts will it be activated for them to be able to see. Very few people question their beliefs, basically. Very few people question their thoughts. It's like that fish in water. Do fish question, hey, what is this I'm in, right? In the same way, people are in their minds and they believe their thoughts and they believe their beliefs and they believe their egos and they think they know, right? And when you think you know, you stop to grow because you're no longer open to being wrong or not knowing or not having the full picture, right? So you close yourself off. And this is what I am seeing happening with these two energies coming together. Right? I'm seeing more and more people getting more and more polarized. And even when you're trying your best to make sense, there's someone coming up against you. It doesn't matter what it is, right? And sort of, contesting your view. And I know it's really hard right now because we try and dialogue and be like, okay, why do you see things this way? And people just see things the way they see things, and it's almost, there's almost no point in engaging because it doesn't seem like anybody's really going to change their mindset. Okay? And it's easy for you, me, us to be able to see that in others. And then we judge these others for having the opinions that they have because they're different from ours. And we question, why don't they just see? Why can't they see that their viewpoint is not 100% valid? So the message I'm getting about all of this is it's easy to observe in others. But in order to really change anything, really to come to our point of power, because it's such an insecure time right now, is to take that which is being reflected to us and apply it to ourselves. Apply it. The only way we're going to change anything is by becoming aware of how we are also inadvertently creating this reality. Okay? Everything outside of us is a reflection of what is occurring inside of us. And this is fact. We create on an individual level as well as on a collective level our reality. Reality doesn't have to look the way it looks. It looks the way it looks because we've created it to look like this. And it is a reflection of where our collective consciousness is at. There can be more enlightened societies. There could be a whole nother way of living. It's all possible. But first, it has to change within our own consciousness, all right? It's how we think is what we create. When we see that we can change how we think, and that how we think and how we behave is not necessarily how it is. It's what we're making it. We're making what is. Then we can create from that point anything else. It's limitless. But first we have to realize we're a fish in water. First we have to realize that we are trapped in our own creations. Whatever we see from the outside needs to show us where it is inside ourselves that we are in that same place. Does this make sense? Okay, I really hope it does. I'm sure it does. So when we come up against people and we see them and we're like, wow, this person is stuck. They're obviously stuck and they think that X, Y, and Z is 100% correct. No matter what it is, right? It doesn't matter what it is. And we come up against them and we are just like, wow, either blocking this person or arguing with this person or trying to get through to this person or what have you. And we just see, wow, this person is stuck. Instead of separating that other person and pointing the finger at them, let that show you. Turn that inward on yourself. Let that show you and question, where is it that I'm stuck? Where is it that I believe that I am right? Question your beliefs. Question yourself. Where it is that I think that I see the truth. Question what you think is true. Why? Question, could there be other possibilities that I'm not seeing? Other perspectives that I'm just not aware about, that I'm missing altogether, that might not, be what I think is true, but still be just as valid. Bring it back inside of yourself. Because the more we individuate and the more we limit, right, ourselves, the more we have boundaries and the more karmas that we continue to keep hitting up against and not get anywhere, the denser and denser and denser this reality becomes. But if we can look within ourselves and go into the space and give ourselves space and perspective and inquire within ourselves. Inquire, where do my beliefs come from? Where are my thoughts true? Who is thinking these thoughts? Are these thoughts even mine? What gives validity to these thoughts that arise within me? Why do I believe my thoughts, my opinions? Right? If we can begin to give this more importance, this within us more importance, more than what's outward, right? Because the outward is only a reflection of the inward. And to come within and to really, really create that space and those possibilities within us, more and more people can do that, then it will reflect outwardly. Coming up against others that are not ready to do this or don't have the capacity to do it just yet, don't judge anybody else, because we all are in our process. This Jupiter-Saturn conjunction is going to affect everybody in the entire planet. And the level at which it affects them is the level at which they are functioning on. And it's not a privilege. It's just a timing. It's a timing. Because everybody's going to get to a place where they become aware of not only themselves, but like what they're a part of, right? And it's no one's fault where they are, because we're all going to experience, right? We're all going to bloom. Nobody or nothing here is a waste, okay, or wrong. It's all encompassed in the whole. If we can bring that wholeness, right? If we can bring those opposing energies and not judge and separate and make wrong or right, you know, make you or me, us against them, but see the oneness, the totality within it. If we can pray and connect to the Guru's grace, then the Guru can lead us to the path of insight and awareness and self-realization, and ultimately liberation, right? So we're on this path together. And those of you that are ready to do the work and awaken from repeating and continually suffering and repeating from these cycles that we are all in, that we all suffer from in one way or another, this solstice and this conjunction gives us a great opportunity to do so. Don't expect anything. And don't be like, oh, what I wanted to happen didn't happen. I missed my chance of awakening. No, we're always awakening. But this conjunction is going to bring it into a lot of clarity. You should be seeing it in your lives. You should be seeing it all around, right? How we get stuck and we continue to repeat and make mistakes from ignorance, and how we can take it and look within instead of pointing the finger and saying, you know, this person is the key to freedom. This person is, you know, this is the cure to illness, and this is the savior, you know. Bring that within. You are your key to freedom. You are your best friend. You are your key to health. You are your advisor, right? Come back and look at yourself. Question yourself. Who am I? What are my beliefs? What are my thoughts? And how do I know they're valid? What is there? Okay. I hope that helps. I don't know if I'm going to publish this because it's, you know, it's just a straight sort of, it's the best way I could put these impulses, or I could share these the messages, sorry, with you guys. It's intense. It's intense energy. But just ground it back inside yourself, because that is where our power is. My power is not in controlling anybody outside of me but me. My power is not even about controlling me. My power is about exploring me in an open, curious way, in which we're not afraid to learn about these deeper cosmic aspects of ourselves, right? We're not afraid of what we might find. We might not even find anything, and it's okay. Acceptance, questioning, self-reflection, being in integrity, not being afraid to say you don't have the answers, not being afraid to say you don't know. Not being afraid to say that you want to change and maybe you're not perfect, because nobody is. And that's the perfection. Not being afraid, right? And especially not of each other, because we're just a reflection of one another. So thank you for joining me on this Solstice Eve. I hope this information was conveyed as clearly as possible. Excuse me. It's hard to put sometimes into the words, but I hope I was received. I hope you know that you're not alone. Don't take things personally. Instead, whatever it is you see in others, look and see if you can find it within you. And that's the beginning of the path of self-realization. And we're all on it together. So happy solstice, my friends. I wish you a blessed return towards the light. May Guru grace you with awareness, laughter, joy, and love. Until next time, enjoy the life. Bye-bye.